For no points, Molly Atkinson. What NHL team plays its games in the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey?
Oh, New Jersey Devils.
That's correct. Damian Atkins. What butte rises 1,267 feet over the Belle Fourche River in northeast Wyoming?
Easy, Neil. That's the Devil's Tower.
You're right, Damien. Moya O'Connell. The Garganta del Diablo waterfall on the Brazil-Argentina border translates into English as?
The Devil's Throat.
Yes. And finally, Gray Powell. What former governor of Massachusetts had a brief run for the Democratic nomination for president this year?
You know this one?
No.
Devil Patrick.
Devil Patrick is correct. And these are the players from the Devil's Despicables. Ryan D'Souza. What Lindsay and Krauss play was for a time the longest running play on Broadway?
Life with Father.
Yes! Alex Grant. By what stage name is the American singer-songwriter Joshua Michael Tillman better known?
Father John Misty.
Father John Misty is correct. Graham Somerville. Who was the mystery-solving priest created by G.K. Chesterton?
Father Brown.
You're correct. And finally, Kelly Wong. What 1991 wedding comedy starred Steve Martin and Diane Keaton?
That's Father of the Bride.
You're right. And these are the players from the Four Fathers. And they are all here to play the second game of the final round of the game show sensation,
The Great Shaw Quiz. And now, from Television City in Niagara-on-the-Lake, here is the host of the Great Shaw Quiz, Neil Barclay.
Thanks, everyone, and welcome to the second game of the final match of the first series of the Great Shaw Quiz. Last week, both teams managed to answer the final round question about writer Damon Runyon, and they ended up only 70 points apart, and with the Four Fathers scoring 310 points and the Devil's Despicables 240 points. As promised, those scores will now be wiped clean, and we will start back at 0. All right. At the end of today's match, last week's scores will be added, and the totals will determine the winner of the first series of the Great Shaw Quiz. Suspense is terrible. I hope it will last. The only thing to do is start asking questions. The first category is Pulitzer Prize-winning musicals. In the 103-year-old history of the Pulitzer Prize for Drama, only 10 musicals have been honored. You will hear about each of them. All right. Since the Four Fathers went first in last week's game, today it's the Devil's Despicables' turn. Devils, number 1. Not surprisingly, since it had won virtually every award created, this musical won the Pulitzer in 2016.
Hamilton.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Hamilton is the correct answer. Number 2. What was the only Rodgers and Hammerstein musical to win a Pulitzer? It was based on another Pulitzer winner by James Michener.
I think that would be South Pacific. What think you, team?
Yes.
I'll go with that.
I go with it.
Unanimity? South
Sure.
Pacific is the correct answer.
Wonderful.
You.
Tremendous.
Lengthily titled Frank Lesser show about office politics won the Pulitzer in 1962.
How to succeed in business without really trying?
I
Oh,
think that might be it. Yeah.
yeah, I think that is it.
And again, you are correct.
Well done.
This harrowing musical about mental illness took the prize in 2010.
Next to Normal.
There you go. That's the
Very
one.
good. Next to Normal is correct.
That's the one.
Very good.
And
That's
Dan.
finally, what Jerry Bach and Sheldon Harnick musical about a legendary New York City mayor bested Gypsy to take both the Pulitzer and the Best Musical Tony Award in 1960?
Would this be Fiorello? What think-
Everybody?
I will go with Damien's answer.
Yeah, Damien.
I will go with that.
Damien, you're correct. Fiorello
Well
is the
done,
answer.
Damien.
Well done. 5 out of 5.
Take that, Four Fathers.
The gauntlet has been thrown down. Four Fathers, get ready. Your first question Jonathan Larson won the Pulitzer posthumously for what 1996 musical?
Rent.
Seems to be unanimity on that. Rent is the answer. Number 2. 332 dancers gathered on the stage of the Schubert Theater the night that this 1976 Pulitzer winner became the longest running show in Broadway history, a record it held for 10 years.
The chorus line, wasn't it, guys?
I think so. Yeah.
Kiss Today Goodbye. You're right. It's a chorus line. Number 3. James Lapine and Stephen Sondheim shared the Pulitzer for which artful 1984 musical?
Sunday in the Park with George.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is correct. Number 4. On the centennial of his birth in 1998, what composer received a posthumous Pulitzer for his music, since the award had been considered a purely literary prize when Of Thee I Sing opened and won the prize in 1932?
Somebody like Irving Berlin. Somebody like that.
His birth. He was born in 1898. I don't know who it is, but
Worth a shot.
yeah, Irving Berlin.
Irving Berlin, your final answer?
Yeah.
It's a very good answer, except Irving Berlin lived such a long life. George Gershwin died very young. I'm sorry about that one. And now number 5. This year's Pulitzer Prize winner is A Strange Loop and tells the story of Usher, an overweight, gay, black writer struggling in the shadow of his more famous namesake, a situation its author could well imagine given his name is what? Have you been reading your newspaper recently?
His name is Usher.
What's his real? Can I ask my wife? She knows. She loves that.
You're honest about your cheating, Ryan. That's nice.
It's nice.
Buddy?
I can't remember.
No idea.
No idea? Damien, do you want to take this one?
Michael Jackson.
Michael R. Jackson is correct, the winner of this Pulitzer. All right. So at the end of the first round, the Devils' Despicables are ahead, 50 to the Forefathers, 30. The next category gets its name from the New Testament, but it has little to do with the Bible. As it goes on, its theme should become clear to you all. Forefathers, you're up first. Round 2, Suffer the Little Children. First question. What jazz legend composed the music for Michael Langham's 1963 production of Timon of Athens at Stratford?
Oscar Peterson.
For children.
Oh yeah, what does it do with kids?
I wouldn't worry about the. Well, no, okay, you can worry as
Oscar
much as you
Peterson
want.
has a lot of kids.
That's the only one I can think of is
I'll say Oscar Peterson.
So that's the jazz legend you want to say, Oscar Peterson?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, it's Duke Ellington.
Ellington.
Oh,
Got
Ellington.
it.
Oh no!
All right, get ready for number 2. What Tuscan city, Ryan, holds a biannual race called the Palio?
Siena.
Siena is correct.
Leading
Number 3. In her creator Peggy Parrish's South Carolina hometown, there is a statue of this children's book favorite, an overly literal maid who is forever misunderstanding her employer's instructions. Oh.
Gotta be somebody's kid here, so.
Is
It's
that
not.
Bedelia Bedelia? I don't know if that's a maid.
That's our best guess.
But Neil's about to say something, so
I'm about to say you are correct, Kelly
All right.
Wong.
Amelia
Father of
Bedelia.
Amelia, yes.
Way to go, Ken.
All right, number 4. This beloved Irish writer was celebrated for her portrayal of small-town life in books like Circle of Friends and Tara Road.
That's Maeve Binchy.
Very good, Alex. Maeve Binchy's correct. Now, this one could be challenging. In addition to starring in the West End productions of Thoroughly Modern Millie and Shrek, what singer and actress has been a judge on Britain's Got Talent since its inception in 2007?
Names?
Unfortunately, the person who might best be posed, or the people who might best be posed to answer this question, are not on your team.
Wow.
So it's either Holden or Tennyson. as part of the answer.
And I will accept just the last name.
What about my child,
50-50.
Graham? What about my child?
He's dead,
mean-
Martha.
Let's go with Tennyson. Tennyson or Holden?
Tennyson.
Tennyson it is.
Is it Holden?
Sure.
Tennyson is your final answer?
Sure.
I'm sorry, it's Amanda Holden. All right, but very good. All right, let's see. Devil's Despicables. It's your turn now.
Oh shit! Oh,
What what former big band singer and actor had a syndicated talk show for more than 20 years and also found time to create both Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune?
Merv Griffin.
Merv Griffin is correct. He may be considered one of the 12 minor prophets of the Hebrew Bible, but predicting that Bethlehem would be the birthplace of the Messiah seems pretty major to me.
Who's
Anybody?
child? He may be considered one of the 12 minor prophets of the Hebrew Bible. Oh, boy.
Damien. Oh, Damien.
I don't
what
speak.
is
I just
Ryan's
had
son's name?
Micah?
what?
Micah? Would that be a?
Who? What are you saying?
What is Ryan's
Micah.
son's name? Because everybody else's kid's been used so far, and we're gonna have to double up.
Ryan, just like side question, what's your kid's name?
Micah.
Franklin.
Micah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is Micah your final answer, guys?
Yeah.
Mike is correct.
Yay!
thanks,
All right.
Ryan.
In 1890, what British poet laureate recorded a wax cylinder of himself reading The Charge of the Light Brigade?
Tennyson.
Tennyson is the correct answer. Number 9, what 1997 Newbery Honor book by Gail Carson Levine was made into a film starring Anne Hathaway and Hugh Dancy?
Oh, is it the one about the princess?
The Princess Diary.
7?
No, but that's got to have a name
Oh.
title.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is this the one about the girl who lived in the
All right, just to remind you, we've had Ellington, Sienna, Amelia, Maeve, Amanda, Merv, Micah, Tennyson.
Ella.
Merv.
Ella. Oh, Ella
Did
Enchanted.
I say Merv?
Ella Enchanted.
oh yeah.
Again?
Moya. Ella who?
Ella Enchanted. Yeah.
Ella Enchanted.
Ella Enchanted is correct. And number 10.
This better be about my child. Honest.
Kids.
Damien, what TV program created by Agnes Nixon ran for over 40 years and won Emmy Awards for such actors as Josh Duhamel, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and at last, Susan Lucci?
All my children.
All My Children is correct.
Susan Lucci is my daughter.
At the end of round 2, it's the Devil's Despicables with 100 and the Forefathers with 60. All right, a couple of weeks ago, we had a category devoted to famous names in airports. This time, I'm going to give you the 3-letter IATA code that's associated with airports around the world. In fact, I'll give you 2 codes for the 2 largest airports serving a city. You will tell me which city those airports serve. Right, we're going to alternate between teams. So first question goes to the Despicables, second one to the Fathers. All right, first one. JFK and LGA. What city do
New
those
York.
airports
New
serve?
York.
New York City.
New York
It's a
City, your
hell of a
final
town.
answer, and that is
Hell of a
correct.
town.
Hell of a town.
Ah, the Big Apple.
All right, number 2. LAX and BUR.
And that's to us, yes?
That's to you. That is to the
That's-
Forefathers, yes.
Los
Los
Angeles, yes?
Yes.
Los Angeles, your final answer, and you are correct.
City of Angels.
All right. Back to the
Wow.
Despicables. LHR and LGW.
That would be
London.
London.
London is correct. Forefathers. ORD and MDW.
Chicago.
Final answer, and that is correct. Chicago. Despicables. CDG and ORY.
I think that would be Paris.
Yes, Charles de Gaulle. Yes. Yes.
Charles de Gaulle at Orly International Airport in Paris. You're correct.
C'est beau, ça, c'est beau.
Fathers?
cité.
PEK, fathers. PEK and PKX.
Wow.
This may take a little bit of puzzling, but I think you can do it.
PEK.
That's the secret.
Is that going to be from the old from Beijing, Peking?
Peking. I'm thinking.
Beijing then?
Oh,
Let's go with that.
yeah.
Final answer? Well done, Graham Somerville. You're right. Beijing.
Well done.
Well played.
All right.
I see you.
Despicables, HND, and NRT. Again, the names of the airports are quite easily represented in those codes. If you
HND.
Yes. Again, these are also cities that are large enough to have 2 international airports or more. So.
Yes. So what's a city that starts with H?
Helsinki. That's not Helsinki. It's
And of course, as often, airports are often not in the actual cities that they serve.
That's true.
They may be outside cities.
Would it be like?
Could this be Hawaii? No, that
would be.
Oh, it might be. It could be Honolulu.
And what's the NRT?
But I don't know if they have 2 airports.
Or would it be Holland
Travel.
and something else? No, somewhere Holland National Airport. I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm going to need an answer.
Like, well, it could be Amsterdam.
All right.
okay.
Yeah,
5 seconds.
I'm going with that. Yeah, Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, your final answer?
Yeah, sure.
Nowhere near. It's Tokyo, Haneda International Airport and Narita International Airport. All right, 4 fathers. Here we go. FCO and CIA.
Ooh. FCO.
No, because Dulles is Washington, right? Because CIA, where's the?
No.
CIA's in Langley.
Yeah.
I don't work there.
I do. I work for
Is it Virginia then?
They both end in vowels, I notice.
Is it going to be somewhere Spanish then?
Got to be a big city. Do you want to go with like
Buenos Aires?
Rio, Buenos Aires,
Portuguese or Rio? Yeah, Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires, your final answer?
Sure.
Mi dispiace. No, it's Rome.
Rome.
Oh.
Yes, I know. It's
Da Vinci.
Fiumicino and Ciampino airports are the 2 Rome airports. All right, one more for the Despicables. BCE and TSF.
BCE.
VCE.
And TSF. Again, in at least one of them, I'd say the city is
Venice,
getting
Valencia,
questions.
Maybe
Venice.
Venice.
Venice
What
has
did you
two
say,
airports.
Neil? What did you say?
Venice.
I would just saying that one of those 2, the city is relatively well represented. I'm trying to be even with my clues to both teams this morning.
How many of these airports have you been to, Neil?
I've been to some of them, not all of them.
Okay.
I bet you it's Venice.
Say your final answer?
Yeah.
What do you think,
Sure.
Moya?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
It scares me.
Once you're in Italy, it's hard to leave. Venice and Treviso airports. You're correct.
Oh,
Marco Polo. All right, and finally, the last one for the 4 fathers: SXF and TXL.
TXL. I got nothing.
States could be Dallas. Anyone know what those are?
Dulles. No,
That's Dallas, but
San Francisco? Do they have two?
No, that's SFO. Go with a big city.
San Antonio.
Mexico City.
That's a good big city. Yeah. Let's go with that.
Yeah, Mexico City. Final answer?
Yeah,
Sure.
final.
Yeah, final answer. No, I'm sorry. That's Berlin.
Berlin.
Schönfeld and Tegel airports in Berlin. All right. Well, at the end of that round, Devil's Despicable are staying ahead, 140 to 90. It was a challenging round, but no matter, the lightning round can change everything. Your goal is to answer as many of these quick clues as possible in 2 minutes. If you think you know it, call out an answer. I'll accept the first I hear. If nobody has an idea, someone should yell pass. We're going to start with the four fathers. Okay, 10 points each, 2 minutes on the clock. It will start when I finish the first clue. What Syracusan is considered to be the greatest mathematician of ancient times?
Archimedes.
Archimedes is correct. A 1998 bombing in what town was the single deadliest attack during the Troubles in Northern Ireland?
Londonderry.
No, Omagh. In what former capital city would you find the Shwedagon Paya, the most sacred Buddhist pagoda in Myanmar?
Pass.
Rangoon. What costume designer was the winningest woman in Academy Awards history?
Edith Head.
Edith Head is correct. What European royal family spent much of World War II in Ottawa and Lake of the Bays, Ontario?
Don't.
The Dutch royal family. What is the name of the steamed hot dog with meat sauce that was introduced in Plattsburgh, New York in 1927?
Chili dog.
No, the Michigan. What venue in the Berkshire Hills of Western Massachusetts has been summer home of the Boston Symphony since 1937?
Tanglewood.
Tanglewood is correct. What 1920 scandal severely damaged the reputation of the Warren Harding administration?
Teapot.
Teapot Dome is correct, yes. What Canadian magician co-starred with Cheetah Rivera, Nathan Lane, and Christian Slater in the 1983 Broadway musical Merlin?
Oh.
Pass.
Pass, all right. Doug Henning. In 1951, what American poet wrote Montage of a Dream Deferred?
Whitman.
No, Langston Hughes. What contemporary of Shakespeare's was rumored to have been stabbed in a bar fight by a body-serving man, a rival of his in his lewd love?
Marlowe.
Yes. Gropius, Klee, and Kandinsky were all teachers at what German art school in Weimar?
Bauhaus.
Bauhaus is correct. What pioneer of antiseptic surgery had a mouthwash named for it in
Lister.
1879? Lister. Which Gilbert and Sullivan operetta takes place partly in Italy?
The Gondoliers.
Gondoliers, yes. What was the name of the actor and monologuist who performed Swimming to Cambodia and Monster in a Box?
Spalding Gray.
Correct. What Spanish word for storeroom has come to mean any corner store or convenience store in New York City?
Bodega.
Bodega is correct. All right.
Really
Started
hard.
slow, but you came on. Okay.
Well done.
All right. Well done, guys.
Huzzah!
Too hard. You thought those were hard, Molly?
What?
How's
You thought those were hard? Just wait.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, you got 2 minutes. Answer as many as you can. First answer I hear, I'll take. The
Okay.
clock will start when I finish this first clue. Lori Lightfoot is the first openly LGBTQ person to be elected mayor of what Midwestern city?
Pass.
Chicago. Who wrote Remembrance of Things Past?
Oh, Proust.
Yes. Rodrigo Duterte is the controversial president of what Asian nation?
Ooh, Malaysia.
Pass.
No, Philippines. Sobriquet is a word borrowed from the French meaning what?
Nickname.
Correct. Since 1983, the Calgary Flames have played at what arena?
The Saddle Dome.
Saddle Dome.
Correct. What former athlete has 5 sons, all named George?
George Foreman.
Correct. What 3 countries make up the Baltic states?
Pass.
Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Which city's film festival awards the Golden Bear top prize?
Berlin.
Correct. What architect was known as the greatest exponent of Catalan modernism?
Gaudi.
Gaudi is correct. What singing group of the 1940s had a hit with Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy?
Andrew Sisters.
Correct. What is the largest living rodent in the world?
The Pacabera.
Very close, but no, capybara. Bruno
Capybara.
Hauptmann was a German-born carpenter found guilty of the abduction and murder of who?
Can you repeat the question?
I'm sorry?
The Lindbergh baby.
Lindbergh baby is correct. Mozart's Eine kleine Nachtmusik translates into English as what?
A Little Night Music.
Correct. The Brazilian athlete born Edson Arantes do Nascimento is better known by what single name?
Pele.
Correct. The North Vietnamese Hoa La prison was better known by what sarcastic name?
The Hanoi Hilton.
Correct. Who wrote Raise High the Roof Beam Carpenters?
Ooh.
Pass.
J.D. Salinger. What poet was known as the Belle of Amherst?
Oh,
Pass.
Emily Dickinson. What Great Gatsby star appeared on the cover of the first edition of People magazine on March 4th, 1974?
Mia Farrow.
Mia Farrow is correct.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well done, guys. At the end of that round, 260 for the Devil's Despicables. You're maintaining your lead here. The Forefathers 190.
Oh, yeah, you guys are amazing.
Well done.
Just
That was
hanging on
thrill.
here. This is great.
Hanging on.
All right.
That's a 70-point difference, right?
That is a 70-point difference.
Did I cut you off, Moya? Did you have that answer?
What's that?
Did I cut you off? Did you have that answer of the Belle of Amherst?
No, I didn't.
Okay, sorry. I didn't hear it. If anyone said it, I didn't hear it.
My apologies.
All I mean is that we're dead even now.
All right. Wow. All right. After 8 games, 16 teams, and 500 questions, it all comes down to this last question. And the Devil's Despicables will go first.
Oh my God.
All right, we're going to ask the Forefathers to turn their sound off or pull out their earbuds so they don't hear the deliberations of the Devil's Despicables. Is that accomplished? All right. At the end of which I'm going to ask both teams to reveal their answers. We're going to find out who, if anyone, got it right. All right. Devil's Despicables, are you ready?
Yes.
Ready.
The category is countries and their capitals. This country, which gained independence from the United Kingdom in 1910, is the only nation in the world to have 3 capital cities, one for the executive branch, one for the legislative branch, and one for the judicial branch. And none of them is the country's largest city. You have 30 seconds.
What about Australia, guys? I'm just thinking about I don't really know about the cities, but I'm thinking about when they liberated from the United Kingdom.
I don't think it is, though, because Canberra, I mean, it's certainly not the largest city, but I mean, that's where I'm from. Are there any other options?
Anything in Africa?
Somewhere in, like, Southeast Asia?
I don't know.
I have like same 0. What do you want to say? Are we looking for just the capital, just the country?
The country.
You're looking for the name of the country.
The name of the country.
And I'm going to need an answer.
This is terrible. That's where I'm from, but Moya, that's our only.
I'm sorry, I don't have any other answer. That's the only thing I could think of.
What if it was South Africa?
Well, that's sort of what I just sort of thought of South Africa. Yes.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, yeah, if it's Australia, this is the last you'll see of me. Honestly, my parents will.
Okay.
All right. South Africa.
All right.
Love you, Damien.
You've got it written down? All right. Very good. All right. Now we'll bring back the Forefathers and ask the Devil's Despicables to turn off their sound and pull their earbuds out. And remember that their mics may still be live. Okay, Forefathers, you have 30 seconds to deliberate once I've read the question, discuss your possibilities, come to an answer, and then Ryan D'Souza will write it down. The question is, in countries and their capitals, this country, which gained independence from the United Kingdom in 1910, is the only nation in the world to have 3 capital cities, one for the executive branch, one for the legislative branch, and one for the judicial branch. And none of them is the country's largest city. You have 30 seconds.
All right. It's not in Africa because it's 1910, although I could be wrong.
not India, right? Because India was 1910.
That was 1940s.
Yeah, partition happened there.
Um,
The biggest city may not be the capital, though.
South America, Africa, Asia.
Yeah.
Is it one of those countries like? Whoa.
All right, there's your 30 seconds. I'll give you an extra 5 or 10
Okay.
seconds since the other guys took a little bit longer.
A little bit.
What do you want to say? You got to pick one.
It might be something like
The big country.
Could it be in the Middle East? No, 1910. I don't know.
I'll
Just go
give
with
you another 8 seconds.
Okay.
Pick one, Alex.
Best guess.
1910.
I got to write it down.
Yep.
Afghanistan.
You think so? All right.
All right, you got it written down?
I don't think that's it.
All right.
No.
Let's bring back the Devil's Despicables. All right, you guys back? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Molly Jane Atkinson, please show us the Devil's Despicables answer.
Who's wrong? Ready? Da-da-da.
You've chosen South Africa. All right.
Alex's response is priceless.
Sounds
Brian
right.
D'Souza, could you show us the forefathers answer? And that is Afghanistan.
It is.
And I am going to have to tell you that the correct answer is South Africa.
Whoa! Boom!
Cape Pretoria, Cape Town, and Bloemfontein are the capitals. Johannesburg is the largest city, the only country in the world, which means today's scores are Devil's Despicables at 360 and the Forefathers at 190. And when we add those to yesterday's totals of 240 and 310 respectively, it means that the Devil's Despicables win with 600 to the Forefathers 500. Congratulations.
Well done.
Molly Atkinson, do you have anything to say?
Thank God for all of the other people on my team. They're so smart. And the Forefathers are a really good team.
Yes.
Forefathers.
Formidable.
What do you have to say? What are your thoughts?
Congratulations.
Too close. Too close.
Too close. That
Well
was a
done.
nail biter. Couldn't have written it any better.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
on that note, I would just like to say thank you to everyone involved in the Great Shaw Quiz. Patrick Bowman, Emily Lukasik, Sanjay Tawar were there from day one, helping to create the structure and the aesthetic of the game. Alan Teichman, Ashley Ireland, and Jeff Pribus, who made it look so beautiful and move so swiftly. Sarah Douse for her logo. Paul Sportelli for his suspenseful music. Tom McCamus for his rousing announcing. And Laura Hughes, Tim Carroll, and Tim Jennings for their encouragement and support, and all the 2020 season partners for helping make this and many other projects that are happening possible. And most especially, I'd like to thank the 36 brave souls who volunteered to play the game. Without your commitment, sense of humor, and smarts, there'd have been nothing to watch. Hopefully we will meet again on this or some other platform. Until then, stay healthy and safe until it's time for another round of
The Great Shaw Quiz.
This is Tom McCammon speaking. The Great Shot Quiz is a Tim Carroll, Tim Jennings production.